money was coming. I was selling and, you know, doing the job myself. So let's go back to this note. Now by this time, I spent a lot of money. You have to understand that. It might cost me $50,000, $60,000, but I got my wish coming true. I broke into the Canadian mind, Canadian heart. I touched it, I saw it. I wanted to know why these people are nice, you know, but they don't look nice, at least to my standard, to my growing. Also, the same problem native had too. They can see their kindness, you know, but they're also practical. They just say something and they do it. They go and die for it. But this allowed me, from the economical and social step, jump into this spiritual value, and I saw in my own eyes what happens when a Canadian becomes a spiritual. And boy oh boy, it's a beautiful scene to see. So as I wanted to get into the native to understand them, which in that 3-4 months I had there, I learned a lot from them. I saw Alex Skeet, that from Ozenberg. I asked him, I went there to Rat Portage to bring him over to help me in there. Ozenberg said, I cannot go there. I told him, why, sir? You're Ojibwe, they're Ojibwe. He says, no, but that's their village. I shouldn't. I said, okay, it's something cultural. But I had a real nutty, one of these boys, I think it was Steve Wazikizik. I brought him with me there. Annoying boy he was. Annoying native boy, you know. Comparable to the rednecks of the white. He was some kind of a brown neck of natives. Difficult boy. I brought him, and Alex, a kid, without even asking questions what it is, just sent us like chicken into the a place, never heard of it, called Sweat Lodge. Boy oh boy, when I went to the Sweat Lodge and I came out, it was just like my entire body got fixed. I could walk on the snow naked, no problem. That's so much energy. I said, you know, when your hand is dirty, you clean. But when inside is dirty, you wish you could clean. I said, yeah. I said, well, that's why you drink water. Water attaches to the dirt, and when you sweat, it comes out. What a man he was. My God, I envy his spiritual power he had. We thought he's a Baha'i. He said, I am everything. I'm a Baha'i too. I found that Dryden Hospital, they would use him to help the native people. He had a lot to say. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time to stay with him. I wanted to stay much more. He was, I think, one of these Chief Mercadies, the previous guy, was helping him in those areas. He was a big, tall man, amazing Indian. I should say First Nation people. So I had to spend this money because I had to learn these things. You don't understand when you are like me, and a scholar in the faith and in the people. It is bigger and better, and I can't tell you, more wonderful for me than to go discover, you know, the planet Jupiter. To me, that's all material anyways, different shape or form of it. But the soul of people and how they are and why they behave this way and how to react that way, it is something, without it, I felt that there's a curtain wall between me and these people. You know, I have to break this and I gotta get on that side, and did, both to the white people and the native. Which kind of solved the problem, understand what French people are too, and what are their roles in building Canada. So alongside of being a Baha'i, gradually an idea called Canadianism, I was thinking, it was being built in my brain. Like, what do we do about immigrations? What do we do about a lot of things, which I'm going to be discussing these things in my messages, my understanding of the situation. So I had to learn this, but my wife disagreed, and we came to, as I said, to Kelowna, and in Kelowna I had a dream again. Abdul Baha told me that I'm one of the 24 elders. which honestly, people didn't know what that means. And I didn't know what I'm supposed to do. I thought I have to do more teaching. I brought my friends from Southern Ontario there, long-term friend from Iran. In no time he joined with my wife, married my wife, and goodbye me. There I found out the mission of the Baha'i Faith, about the elders is, and I discovered Baha'i Faith as it is, it has to grow to a different, have to evolve to a different stage, which is a different topic. I've spoken about that before. So, the greatest factor, basic, most important factor in mass teaching Baha'i Faith in Canada, it is actually to study properly the nation's economical, social and spiritual characters and interactions between them very keenly. But here comes the native lessons. No other people to tell you that, but I learned from the natives. That, okay, reading the books about these people and all that is not going to help. You just learn something which is like an avatar of the truth. You have to go with the person, be with the person, become friend. During the friendship you have to touch his soul, he has to touch you, then you know him. Everything else is representations of him, by words, by this, by that. Or actors who always play a role, who really we are, that's what matters. And natives are like that. They don't listen when you say, I am this or that or that. To them, okay, no, it's words. But they scan you and they find you who you are. That's the only way we know it. It's like osmosis pressure. But remember, many people make these mistakes. We are not going to use friendship to teach Baha'i Faith. Well, that's a version of the truth. Or Baha'i, understanding the Baha'i Faith, based on that, we're using Baha'i Faith to become friends with others. At the back of our mind, we should not for a minute make any difference between a Baha'i so-called or a non-Baha'i. Not at all. Rule of Baha'u'llah says that do not judge anybody. We are not to be judging people. How do we know who is better, who is worse, who is closer to God, who is not? It's very, very important. The moment we do say, oh, these are Baha'is, they're not, you're entering the dogma. People are people. No one is perfect. Everyone has certain merits and certain demerits. Maybe Baha'is are meritorious, they know Baha'u'llah and the Baha'i Faith and few teaching, but that doesn't mean they act upon it. Others, they may not know about Baha'u'llah, but they act upon it. You're going to tell me that the fellow who signed a card that I'm a Baha'i is better than Terry Fox or Rick Hansen? No, of course not. I'll tell you that right now, they won't be. Because there's two things to make a person a Baha'i. First, you have to know the theory, and then you have to act upon it. If simply say that I bought the jigsaw puzzle, but I never put it together, well then you don't have a picture. You see, it takes both ways to get to the bottom of this and understand it. There's something really that my observation was in Canada and in Iran, because I'm coming from both places and I'm coming from the spiritual background, coming down to the economy and social aspect of the life in Canada. I found that in the world there's two movements have taken place in mid-1800. One was a spiritual started in Iran called Baha'i Faith. The other one was Canada, the idea of building Canada by the English people. And these two are like the soul and the body of one being. They're so much like each other. Basically, it seems one is the soul of the other one. You have to install Baha'i Faith on Canada, all of a sudden you get the full picture. They're very close. Baha'u'llah says democracy and religion. People here are creating democracy in the sociological and political aspect of life. So I've explained that. Baha'i Faith is like nature. The God who has created the nature, the same God has also written the book, Bible, Quran. And they are like nature, these books. There are problems in them. Sometimes if you don't know, you could get poisoned. You don't know, you can fall into a ditch. The book of God can't throw you in a ditch. This is why after the Prophet there are people they call interpreters. In Islam there are 12 of them, in Christianity so they can explain what Jesus Christ is, what St. Paul did. In Islam, Imam Ali and others did. In the Baha'i Faith, you have the work of Baha'u'llah, and then you have Abdul Baha and Shoghi Effendi to explain it. But all of it looks like nature. It's beautiful. You know, you can drink the water sometimes even. But still, it's not a house, it's not a car, it's not practical. This is why you have to rebuild it. How we reconstruct the nature in the form of a car to use it, all of it comes from the nature. We have to reconstruct in a spiritual house to the Canadian order. This is why I have created all these videos so far. It's a reconstruction of the Baha'i Faith for today, you know, of our century. It has to be changed naturally. But in this series that I'm talking to Canada, I'm going further magnification. So whatever I have said applied directly to Canada. Out of which, in future, people reading this may get the idea how to create a Baha'i government in the world. So, oh Lord. So all my thinkings and my discoveries, if you like it, my study, my practical study to see the souls of people from there is what I'm going to be talking about these things. My first video after this is going to be talking about the native people in Canada. Well, thank you very much. We'll see you guys later.